So this talk is recorded just so that I can post on YouTube after in case you have to go, or if anyone who registered was unable to make the time of the presentation. Have to forgive me. There was a little mix up in the times for this talk, so I'm glad that you can be here. Uh, I am Carmina Smiles. I'm a 500-hour yoga instructor. And a lot of what I do and offer are yoga classes and wellness informational classes and workshops on connection, connection back to self and ways of learning self-care, self-love, and different boundaries. Also connection to other people, other in nature and wildlife. That also allows humans and people to understand kind of where we are within the systems, kind of the systems of nature and life and the systems of the universe. So with this presentation on natural skincare, this is going to be more of a discussion or kind of a nice little way to teach about the different like herbs and plants that you might find or see in some products that you possibly use already, and really just the benefits of these herbs and plants. So this is going to be a pretty casual talk. You're more than welcome to offer like any advice that you have on the topic. And there are so many different types of herbs and plants and just lovely earthly gifts that we have that come from nature that are available to us today. We're not limited by location. So you have the internet, you can order products online. You can get products from local stores. You can get herbs from different tea shops or plant shops, are also again online. And so there's a lot of different ways to use different plants and herbs the same way, or they have a lot of the same benefits. And so we're just going to touch on that today. And then if you would like to go into a deeper dive about anything that I speak on today, please feel free to reach out to me. This and majority of offerings are all just free to all. That's another goal of mine. And just, we have the knowledge here. It's just, how can it be organized? How can it be shared? Especially with having the internet, and then with getting down to understanding ourselves, our bodies, what works, what doesn't, and how our bodies move. That's when it can get a little more intricate or a little more tricky. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out. So I'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so as I mentioned, the natural skincare, and this is going to talk about those herbs and plants and things that you might find in the skincare products, or if you're making your own. So we're going to discuss the examples of herbs and remedies that can support healthy skin from the inside out. This is an open discussion, so if you do have questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat also. A little bit about me. I'm a 500-hour certified yoga instructor, also a vegan nutritionist, wellness and natural living coach. I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner and an animal and earth advocate. So that all kind of spins into one of the reasons why I wanted to offer this course and other courses that I'll be posting about, typically on Eventbrite. So if you ever have a question about anything, what time a program is or how long it's going to run, definitely check the Eventbrite. It's where that most recent updated solid information is going to be. And pretty much what got me curious and kind of working and interested in a lot of the herbs and plants, as a lot of people in my family are very much into herbs and plants. I have a lot of friends who are herbalists and they work with a lot of holistic medicines, and then being on my own journey. So it's been about a 7-year journey of me getting into clean eating, organic eating, and then eventually making my way into being a vegan. And so there's been a lot of learning along the way. So it's been, what plants or herbs and remedies have different nutrients that maybe my body might be missing or maybe not get enough of as I've changed my eating habits. It's also been working with my body as I've transitioned a lot from my different spaces, and I'm around a lot of different animals and things, and I eat a lot of organic food, so I have to be very careful about different things that are in my food or different things that I'm around that maybe can have an effect on my skin. Something that I do on a daily or try to do on a daily is natural or organic eating. So I tend to incorporate a lot of herbs and fruits and things that are anti-parasitic, antibacterial, antimicrobial, which are all different herbs and remedies that are going to help my body to detox anything that I might digest. So, like for instance, if you've ever seen online, it was trending for a while, like a lot of the berries. They're like, oh, if you put the berries in salt water or if you put the berries in vinegar, you're going to notice little worms, little parasites, and things that come out of there. So it's just nice to find the balance between that. I mean, we are surrounded by different microorganisms and bacteria, no matter how clean we hope to be in our life. They are just out there in nature. They are around us. They cover us as soon as we come out of the shower. They're also in our skins and things. So it's just nice to have herbs that can support cleansing the body of those things. So that's kind of a little bit about me and how I got into dealing and kind of looking and researching into some of these herbs and products. So also, what's the why for this? And maybe looking at natural skincare is natural products and herbs. Much of the modern medicine, washes, and face creams include natural herbs, plants, and oils in the ingredients and or originated from Earth's natural gifts. So when I'm saying Earth's natural gifts, I just mean the plants and things that we find in nature. And for kind of a little bit of also getting into the whys of the interest of this is some medicines, washes, face creams, and other products use substitutes and actually can go away from natural products due to cost. But as some consumers have learned about this and some of the substitutes and being man-made, they have pushed for companies to offer more natural products. So it's just good to know what we're putting on and in our bodies. And the benefits, so many benefits, some that I mentioned before, and also connection. More and more people are understanding how connected we are to Earth and the Earth around us. We are connected, we are not separate, just like the bugs, plants, and animals. We all feed off one another, gain nutrients from one another, and can help or hinder one another's life. Using plant-based products and herbs can help the skin, nails, and body to thrive without the harmful effects of chemicals or man-made substitutes. And so I'm just going to dive right in to some of the herbs and things that I have experience with, and I'll give a little bit more detailed information about each of them and also a little photo so you can see what they are. The first one is tea tree oil. Tea tree oil originated from the northeast coast in New South Wales, Australia. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, a lot of these herbs and things are not just kind of stuck in one area. We don't have to travel far to get them. So tea tree oil is very popular in the United States. You can actually also purchase a lot of the plants themselves online or at local stores and grow them and have them yourself and make your own oils and things. But tea tree oil, it can fight acne. It's an anti-inflammatory. It's an antibacterial and antifungal. It can help relief of itchy skin. And a big thing though with using tea tree oil, it is very potent, very strong, and it's one that you'll want to dilute before using. So I actually tend to keep quite a lot of tea tree oil around. I have tea tree essential oil probably all over my house and in my car. It's also one that I tend to find in bug repellents. So tea tree oil is popular that you might see in some of the bug repellents along with like a peppermint or a neem oil that you may also see, and citronella oil that you'll see that bugs do not enjoy, and it helps you to keep bug free. And also you might see tea tree body washes and face washes out there, which tend to also still have a lot of those combined eucalyptus or peppermint oils also in those same products to help with fighting bacteria, to help cleanse, and be used as also with or as an astringent. So, but it does come in many forms. You can get it as the plant, you can get it or make your own oil, or you might find it also in soaps and a lot of the other cleansing products there. The next one that's kind of on a similar route is eucalyptus. This is one that also originates from Australia. It's found in Africa, Hawaii, Middle East, and China. but you can find it pretty much anywhere. I actually ordered my own eucalyptus through the internet. So I had my own plants to use and I make my own oils. And then I also had essential oils that I got. It's another one that I tend to see in a lot of body washes. Another one that I see combined with a lot of tea tree. It's another one that can fight acne. It's also an anti-inflammatory, antibacterial. It can help calm eczema, so itchy red skin. It has healing properties. So if you have like bug bites or small cuts or wounds, you can use it on your skin. And it's also one that you might find in beauty products and face creams for reducing the appearance of wrinkles. It can help tighten the skin, so to speak. It kind of works with those cells within the face. And it's also why they use it for wounds. It's another one that's very potent, a very strong plant and medicine. And so you want to dilute that, or if you're making an oil, have another oil that it's combined with before you use it. But even as an essential oil, so there are different types of essential oils, if that's primarily how you're finding or using your herbs, plants, and remedies. And so some of the oils still can be 100% like just that product and just like maybe whatever type of carrying oil that it uses. And they'll even say on the packaging, you know, to still dilute with another product, or how to use it and make something out of it, mixing it with other ingredients. Like my tea tree oil had a purifying cuticle oil recipe on it. And or if that is the correct type of oil or product to, you know, have near and be able to inhale or have on the skin, and how much to dilute it. Or some oils like peppermint, there are some that are for aromatherapy that strictly go into your aromatherapy kind of machine that you're using possibly, or your aerator, and or ones that you can use in food even. So eucalyptus is one that's kind of like that. You can have eucalyptus, you can boil it. It's also something that people may use the steam to help and use on their face to reduce those appearance of wrinkles, but also it helps to open up the sinuses. It can help with congestion. And so that's another internal reason for using eucalyptus, but you just want to be cautious when using eucalyptus or any other herbs and plants and how you're doing it. The knowledge is out there on how to safely use these products, so definitely make sure to do additional research too. This one, Noni Fruit. Noni Fruit is the next one that is a favorite of mine. It originated from the Polynesian Islands, Southeast Asia, India, and once again, Australia. You might notice too that a lot of these herbs will find on one side of the planet. You'll also find on the opposite side of the planet, maybe for some historical reason that I don't know. But Noni Fruit back in the day was very popular to use as a weight loss product. So just be cautious when you're using this and how much you're using, but it contains a ton of antioxidants, rich in vitamin C, which a lot of people use to treat dark pigmented skin and to help with toning the skin. It can also be an anti-wrinkle. And you have, depending on how you create it to use it, you can make it a cream that you can put it on your face. You can make it and mix it with as a nice light, just kind of toner or wipe on liquid, mixing with just maybe some nice purified water. Or you have the option, of course, to use Noni Fruit internally and you can drink it. And it's also rich in, which then you'll get the effects of this, rich in vitamin A, which supports eyesight and also the immune system. So the fruit is possible to find. I have not seen it anywhere in a local store near me in the Northeast, but it might be out there somewhere in the States. But online you can find it in juice, fruit, or powder to order also that way. And I personally liked the powder. I liked having it where it just lasts for a very much longer time versus the juice. But once again, just using a little does a lot for Noni Fruit when you're using that, because it can have certain effects on the body. As I said, many people use it for weight loss, so that can allow the body to release, let go, and detox. So you just want to be cautious and understand how it's going to affect your body. But obviously, if you're using it on the body, on the face, to help get that rich in vitamin C or the antioxidants, that's not going to have that same effect as you would with the weight loss if you're consuming it internally. But that's what's going to help also with the eyesight and the immune system. And also you want to be cautious too if you're dealing with anything that's rich in vitamin C and putting it on your skin. Typically you want to be light on that because, and even with any sort of face wash or product, when it has, or it's for vitamin C based toner, you maybe want to be cautious about going out in the sun because it can kind of make the face a little bit more soft, a little bit more gentle, and it can cause redness if you use too much of a vitamin C heavy product. So just those precautions. So I tend to use things like Noni Fruit or any kind of product or herb that's high in vitamin C. Typically, if I'm not going to be in the sun for long periods of time, like if I'm going to the beach, I won't use it, or maybe I'll use it at night when I'm done, or a lot of the time I'll use it in the winter when there's not as much sun in the north. Okay, the next one we have is a marshmallow. So marshmallow originated from Europe, Africa, Asia. Another one, marshmallow is great at fighting acne. It's a great anti-inflammatory. It can soothe redness. It also helps the skin to retain moisture. It can treat burns and bites, and it can come in a variety of forms. You can get marshmallow root. You can get it and already find it in beauty products. You can find it in a pill form and or as a powder, and or you can have that is where our food, that gooey little nice sugary marshmallow comes from, that root originally in that plant. So they use that and we use it in food. You can, and they just name it the same, marshmallow. Sometimes it's spelled a little bit different because there's additives and lots of sugar in it. But I really like this one specifically for the retaining moisture. Living and being, depending on what side of the earth you're on. If you're going out west, you have a little bit of the dry heat, so you might be looking for something to retain moisture. In the winter, we tend to get a little dried out if you're somewhere snowy and cold. So it can be nice having something that's going to help you, because retaining that moisture is also going to be an anti-wrinkle. It's going to help your skin to stay soft and smooth, and it's going to help fight any sort of itchiness from dry skin. It's going to help fight from any sort of peeling or anything that you might also get from dry skin. And another one, I'll just keep it going, but if anyone has any questions or anything, let me know. Happy Wednesday. Oh, this is awesome. You said it was your 5 to 6 years. I'm just reading the chat, catching up here. So 5 to 6 years into clean eating or veganism, feel free to let us know in the chat. It's amazing. Appreciate the share. All right. And for the yarrow, this is a newer one that I've been learning about, and it's been a fun one to learn. Yarrow originated from the Mediterranean, Europe, and Asia, but you can find it all over. You can now find it growing all over the country almost. You can find it growing just all over the world. There are so many different varieties of yarrow, and I just picked up some new varieties that I learned about this summer, and it's such a fun plant to work with. It has so many just benefits to not even just skincare, but also as a healing herb for wounds, for toothaches, for digestion, for sore throat. So you can prepare yarrow in a variety of ways. You can prepare it in a wash. You can prepare it with combining it with oils. You can prepare it as a tea. There are just so many ways to prepare this plant and work with it. It is one that can keep you busy for days and days and days. And it's also a good one for as used as an astringent. So when I say astringent, think of alcohol or witch hazel. It's going to kill the germs on the face. It's going to help to tone the face also. And it's antibacterial, antiseptic. So antiseptic is going back to that kind of thought of those microorganisms, microbiome, where it kind of destroys. We have these little critters and things that are all around us. We also there can sometimes be a balance of microorganisms in the face or along in the eyelashes and eyebrows. And so things like this plant can help to keep our bodies and systems balanced so those little microorganisms don't go out of control. And then we might need like an antibacterial from the doctor or something to help us get that under control. So yarrow is, to me, like a miracle plant. It's a fun one to work with and it has tons of benefits and a mix of both. So clean eating and veganism. This is great. Thank you for that share, Frank. That is awesome. Yes, I'm always open to talk about your experiences with anything with your clean eating journey and or with your if you're also someone going vegan. It's just fun to share and learn and see how each other's journeys are going. So definitely feel free whenever if you'd like to unmute yourself and offer to share about your experience, and or if you have experience with a lot of these plants and herbs too. As I mentioned, there's so many that are just to explore and to go through and to learn about, and all of the different benefits are amazing. So all right, I'll keep going. So make sure I did it. Yeah. Skip one. So turmeric. Turmeric is something that is becoming quite popular. I'm seeing a lot of it spoken in magazines. I'm seeing a lot of doctors talk about this one, herbalists, TV shows, talk show hosts, and it is another one that is just amazing. Very popular. Originated in Israel, but very popular in many of the Eastern countries. I have lots of friends and a lot of recipes that are from the Middle East and Eastern countries, from Egypt to Israel to just anywhere in India and all these different places over there. And they all use turmeric, and a lot of them put turmeric in just about everything. And even when I buy foods from the grocery store, a lot of Indian and Middle Eastern dishes have turmeric in it. And a popular thing that I posted a while ago, I'll have to see if it's on the site, I'll send it out if it is a recipe for golden milk. I know I have it on my Instagram, but golden milk is just this drink that is becoming more and more popular now in the States, primarily because it's an anti-inflammatory, along with a lot of other healing properties and things that support the body, but mainly anti-inflammatory. So a lot of people with arthritis like it, or a lot of my friends who do fitness and things like it. And so golden milk is typically with like a coconut milk or an alternative milk. You have turmeric and black pepper and a lot of other different spices and things inside of that. And you just blend it or you simmer it over the fire, and then you enjoy it. And that's like a really, really like simply said recipe for golden milk. But the whole thing about it is it's in golden color and it's a turmeric based drink. And some people do it as is, and it can be kind of spicy or can be kind of bitter or a little bit more of that savory side. Other people like to add sweeteners to it and make it a little more sugary or a little bit more easy on the palate, depending on your taste buds. But there's a lot of different ways to enjoy turmeric. Also, just even if you're not doing golden milk, because it can also be an acne treatment. It can promote a healthy glow in the skin. It's antibacterial, lots of healing properties. Once again, a lot of these things for wounds, you're typically going to maybe make like a cream, you're going to make a powder, or you're going to make a liquid base for the body to put these herbs and things on. It can soothe psoriasis, and is also used as a scabies treatment, which is microscopic organisms, microscopic mites. If you go camping, if you're out in the woods a lot, you might see or maybe have come into contact with something like that, which also usually uses the assistance of neem oil, which bugs typically do not like, which can help with that. And you'll have to forgive me if it's Casey or Cassie. Feel free to correct me so I pronounce it right. Shares, if your skin is inflamed all over your body, what's the best herbs to make your skin calm? Seams of cloves irritate the skin. Oh, that's definitely an interesting one. So if you're getting into clothes, is it a certain type of fabric that you're using? There's always definitely two sides of the coin. Do you tend to, that can come into like, do you tend to stick to kind of cotton-based or more natural fabrics, or bamboo-based clothing or hemp? which a lot of people are getting more interested in, and that tends to be coming up especially in the United States a little bit more, because a lot of the clothes that we get at stores, a lot of them contain polyester or synthetic materials in them, which can be irritants to the skin. And sometimes also it can be the chemicals that the companies use to either clean the product before it hits the store. It could be what it's wrapped in, and or like so it's just the seams. It could be something in that threading or even in the dyes. So I know when I used to go shopping, I used to never like wash my clothes before I put them on. I would just like put them on. And then like now I'm like, my sister's like, you should wash your clothes before you put them on from the store. So that's something that I've like, oh yeah, I should do that. Body broke about 10 years ago. Contact dermatitis only. Soft nylon, cotton. Yeah, never before washing. Yeah, so you're better than I used to just like get them from the store and put them on. But dermatitis. So I would say definitely something like the tea tree oil and or the turmeric is going to be something that would allow for the calming of the skin. Cotton usually irritates the skin too. Yeah, if the nylon's working in that, you have to go with what your skin is going to be, accepting of with those materials. But and just watching out for that, because then it could also be just maybe an allergic reaction, or like I said, something that comes from the factories. Kombucha is a wonderful, that's like kombucha is typically it's a live like bacteria, little, what do they call them, like little SCOBY. And yeah, that definitely is a good one. That has lots of probiotics, and you just want to make sure that you're using a prebiotic to support those probiotics too, if you're doing a lot of kombucha, to keep that balance in your system. But yeah, I would say definitely try the turmeric. You could you can mix that with like a nice soft kind of carrying oil. So maybe something like an almond oil if that doesn't irritate you, or coconut oil is going to be really light. Hemp oil is very soothing. Like if you just want to try like an oil itself and see how that does on your skin. Hemp oil is used a lot to soothe the skin, calm the skin. So that might be something that you want to try and see how that does. And then so if you notice something like the hemp oil does good on your skin and you don't have any irritation and you're seeing improvement, or if you even use like a hemp oil or hemp soap, then maybe add on to that, try the turmeric with that and see how the body responds. That's like a good route to start and help. And there's the other ways too. You always have that option of, there's turmeric teas, or you can make a tea, and you could even just, if you already have it in like a tea bag form, then you could use the turmeric tea in that tea bag to kind of wipe in that area on the skin, preferably maybe at night when you're home, and then you can kind of see in the morning how the skin reacted in those certain areas that are irritated. Yes. Yeah. So breathing in sauna is kind of like that same, I think, like on a larger level of scale of like, instead of taking a tea bag and just putting it on there, then you're actually getting that to take over that whole kind of body system. Yeah. Yeah, I would say definitely, definitely with the food, of course, too. But if you're seeing that it's only in certain areas and where that cloth or material is touching, then I would say, yeah, maybe do something like he said, like even the sauna with herbs, as Frank mentions, and you could start with that little tea bag of a turmeric or the tea tree, or like a green tea, and try it just on those areas and see how the body responds. Yeah, I have a lot of female friends and siblings that talk about how the bra straps can be very irritating. Luckily, that can be something with a little bit of research online, where they are making a lot of more natural and a little bit less like, I don't know how you say it, like tight materials. Sometimes with our bra straps, it's just that the material and the seams and things are so tight on our skin. But luckily there are a lot of more natural, like nylon or cotton or bamboo or hemp type brassieres that are out there that are still supportive, but that are also a little bit more light and easy on the skin. So yes, I love all that in the chat. Thank you. That is definitely some insightful information being offered there. And then if you have some additional questions too, definitely feel free to reach out to me. We can deep dive into that and kind of make a kind of testing checklist of things that you could run through and try out. Of course, I would say, give any of those things about 1 to 3 weeks to see how they work on the body. And sometimes it may take a little bit of combination. I am someone who definitely likes a little balance of the Eastern and Western medicine. I had been dealing with a breakout that I had gotten on my face, and I had that breakout for almost about 1.5 years. And I was using a lot of natural products and things, which was slowing and stopping the expansion and the kind of growth of the breakout. But I still ended up then also seeing a dermatologist who was like, oh my gosh, you're doing all the great things. And then we added an just like a little antibacterial, but on top of it, which was directly targeted to my skin. And with that and my tea tree face wash and my oil, it's healed. So there's always that balance between East and West. A lot of our Western medicine comes from the earth's natural gifts. I mean, even things like aspirin and different antibiotics come from the earth, come from products like these. And then they just kind of give it a little extra boost in the lab. So there's nothing wrong with a little combo of Western and Eastern. So yeah. But no, definitely. Well, we can definitely deep dive more into them. I'm going to see if I get through a couple more of these slides, and then definitely reach out to me and we can have a little bit deeper conversation too. Yeah, definitely. No, I appreciate it. And thanks so much for everyone who offered support for those questions also. Much grateful. I know it can be sometimes overwhelming. We have all this information on the internet, and sometimes it can still seem like there's nothing that can help, but anything that is created on this great earth, there is always a cure. So it is out there. We're going to get to another one actually that can support the skin. If you're looking for something that you haven't tried, is aloe vera. This is another favorite of mine, originated in Egypt, but you can find it all over in the United States. You can find this plant in just about every store even. I mean, from a Home Depot to a Lowe's to a Meijer's to a Walmart to your local plant shop. They most likely, if they sell plants or some kind of gardening material, they most likely have an aloe vera. I've even seen them sold in a Walgreens, which is just like a little pharmaceutical store. So this is a wonderful plant for if you're out in the summertime. It's going to keep the skin cool. It's going to help with sunburn. It helps reduce scarring. It's anti-wrinkle. It's also great for moisture retention. I like to use aloe vera in my hair for the moisturizer, and it can treat wounds. Also, what's great about aloe vera is it does support the reproduction and supports the release of collagen. So that helps to keep our skin nice and young, and it can help fade dark spots and helps fade stretch marks. So if you're someone who's dealing with stretch marks, maybe if you were or are an athlete, if your body type has changed based on a change in your eating habits, and or if you had children, stretch marks may or may not be a thing. You might want to add aloe vera to your regimen. So of course, with any of these products, you are, they're not a one and done. You're going to have to use them consistently, add them to your regimen, whether you're using them, so many times a week, or you're doing a cleanse or some sort of detox so many times a month or whatnot. But definitely research and just see how that works with your body. And of course, anything like a face cream or astringent, those types of things, you're doing those usually at least once a day or night, or once every other day or night to see those results. Another one that is a favorite is horsetail. So horsetail originated from North and South America and Asia. And this has been something that has existed since Jurassic period. So horsetail goes way, way back in time and history. And so this is another one of those herbs where, like the yarrow, where there's a various species, there's various nutrients. The list goes on and on and on and on and on with the benefits of horsetail. You can find it as a plant, as a pill, as a powder. You can find it in herbs or different like dressings and food. You can also find it in different medicines and or beauty products in the store, or lotions that you may not even realize. So it's always good to read those ingredients. But some of the, again, this has popular in vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K, a ton of vitamin Bs, potassium, silica, magnesium. And I, the other day, just went walking at a metro park and out east suburb of Cleveland, Ohio, out towards Ashtabula, and there was horsetail just growing all along in the fields of the park. And it was so cool to see that. It was just taking over. And it is really beautiful. So if you're looking for like a natural border, even to use around your house or something, it's just really pretty to have, and will just sprout up and can help kind of create and line your yard if that's something that you're interested in too. But being back into the beauty, it helps to strengthen the bones, helps to strengthen the hair, all that silica, the magnesium, the calcium, and it can help on the internally elimination of toxins. So it does that by offering kidney support in your urination, which is if you're taking it internally for a pill, primarily for that, or in some sort of mix with a food product or tea or whatnot. Yes, horsetail is so great to grow at the house. I loved it. That gave me the idea just walking on that, because how it lined up and how beautiful it looked at the park. I was like, that would make an amazing border around the yard and house. All right, and this one, Mullein. I learned a lot about this when I was living in Columbus, Ohio. I had it growing in my backyard, and it was taller than me. I'm about 5'2". I think it was hitting about 6 feet. Mullein, fun fact, used to be used, and probably still can be used, as a natural toilet paper. So if you ever run short and you're out in nature, you could use mullein as toilet paper. But this picture here is more of the top of the mullein as it is flowered, but it has these huge leafy greens that are on it too. So it originated in Europe, Africa, and Asia. It was brought over way back in the day. But there's another one. It's a various species. It helps in so many different ways. It's antibacterial. It stimulates hair growth. It's a disinfectant. It's an antiseptic, antiviral, antibacterial, softens skin. They used to use mullein in so many different capacities back then. They were using it to help heal. They were using it in teas. They were using it in washes and so many other ways other than toilet paper. This is another one that, and it's, you can literally find it out in nature. You can grow it. I know in Ohio, it's easy to grow here. It helps to soften the skin, which is wonderful. And so there's just depending on how you choose to prepare it. So stimulate the hair growth by topical application or by consuming it. You can actually find it in some hair creams, which a lot of this stuff I'm finding in a lot of the hair creams too. Different things, like you might see it in a mix of like an argan oil or shea butter or some kind of like hair mayo, or shampoo and conditioners, that type of thing. And or if you're consuming it. So many of these herbs and plants, you can consume them. It's just like I mentioned, how you prepare it. You could make a mullein tea, and it's just gonna affect, how it affects the body differently. So obviously, if you're using like a hair wash, you're targeting that scalp, but then it's just kind of getting in through the scalp, through the cells, through your pores, and getting in there, based on if you're using a wash or a cream or whatnot, or a hair mayo. Now, obviously, if you're taking it internally, you're going to have those full body effects. You're also going to have that antibacterial, that antiviral. You're going to still see that nice, another one for that healthy glow and softening skin. And of course, it's just going to hit your hair follicles a different way. Now, if you're someone like me, I like to target certain areas. Like for instance, like I have a friend who likes to go to the gym and she gets red light. She does the whole full body red light. I have done laser hair removal, so I would not want a whole red light, but I would use a red light brush or a red light cap. So the same thing with mullein. For the fact, and for me, watching anything that's going to stimulate hair growth, I'm going to want to target that area. So it's really if you want to target or not. I would be someone who would want to just use a cream or oil or something on the head with it. so that I'm not reversing my hair laser removal. So it really is just in all how you can, but a mullet is safe to consume, but also you'll find it in beauty products, or you can craft your own. If you would like some ideas on what to do or how to use these herbs and plants, feel free to give me a shout, and I can get a little list and find some nice little recipes that either I have made on my own or that others have shared with me, and I'm happy to share them with you via email or in a message, depending on how you found this chat, either, through Eventbrite or Instagram or Meetup or what have you. So great question. Thank you. The next one is our witch hazel, originated in North America and Japan. So we have witch hazel. You might be familiar, as I mentioned earlier, when I was saying think of astringent, think of alcohol or witch hazel. You can find witch hazel in a lot of the first aid sections or the health and beauty sections at the stores. It is an alternative, natural alternative to using alcohol if alcohol is a little bit too strong for your body, but it has a lot of the same properties. It fights acne, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and antifungal. It can help relief of itchy skin. So that might be something, if you're dealing with an irritant in the skin, you might use that witch hazel to wipe it on that area of the skin to help calm and soothe it and help to cleanse it before you put on maybe a cream. Like if you decide to use a turmeric cream, you might put that witch hazel on first and then put your turmeric cream on after. And then there's lots of healing properties to witch hazel, skin ulcers and skin sores or bed sores being some of the things that can help with healing. It has tons of antioxidants in it, just depending on the variety, that can help fight sunburn. And it is used as a spot treatment and tones the skin. So with witch hazel, you're not only getting the cleansing effect on the face, but you're also getting the toning effect on the face. So this is another one that is safe to use in the morning and the day or the night. So it doesn't or won't affect with that sun like some of the other herbs and plants mentioned, where they're high in vitamin C, where you may want to watch if you're going in the sun. This one you could use pretty much any time of day. And I believe that is all of some of those herbs that to mention, but there are so many more helpful herbs out there that are available that are so helpful. Like rosehip is a popular one. Jojoba oil is another one. Oh, don't mind that time management. That's a typo. But the moringa is another one that's very popular. Squalene, seaweed, grapeseed oil. Seaweed is something that my sister got me hip to. Seaweed is excellent for anti-wrinkle and for the skin to help tighten and help with your skin. So if you, I think I've seen spas have seaweed wraps that were available to people for years. So you can wrap your body in seaweed. You can have a seaweed face mask, or you can also eat seaweed. So very popular at a lot of Arab and Asian and Indian restaurants is seaweed salad. You can get them cooked or raw. Of course, raw is going to have more of the nutritional benefits than the cooked, but that's something, it can be an acquired taste, but seaweed is another one that I could probably talk about for hours. So as I mentioned, if you have questions about anything that was mentioned today, that was discussed, feel free to message me. Instagram is one of the top best ones you can reach me at. You could also just visit carmitasmiles.com to find more information, and or shoot me an email, carmitasmiles@gmail.com. I'll do my best to check my spam to make sure no messages go there. But I am super appreciative of everyone. Let me stop this share. You are free to unmute yourself if you'd like to share anything, or maybe there are some herbs or plants that I did not mention that are a favorite of yours that you'd like to share your experience with. You are more than welcome. Frank, maybe you have something that's really good that I didn't mention. You seem like you've been on this journey for quite some time, which is beautiful. So any shares are great. So you're more than welcome to unmute yourself if you'd like to speak, of course. otherwise, if you're good to go, I just appreciate y'all being here today. I do apologize again about the time mix up originally. So if you found this in Meetup, there was a little bit of a time mix up, but if you found this on Eventbrite, great, then there was not a time mix up. But I am going to post this also on YouTube after. So if you know someone who had wanted to come and they missed it due to the time, then feel free to share.
Hey, Carmen.
Hi, thanks for being here.
It's your auntie. Love you.
Yes, this is my Aunt Denise. So actually, she's a wonderful source on plants and herbs. Denise is like a plant guru. She has lots of gorgeous plants in her apartment. And do you have any recommendations on any plants or herbs that were mentioned today, or anything like the benefits of? Like, I know you have some glorious aloe vera in your apartment.
Just I don't grow turmeric, but I'm kind of waiting for the results. So I am taking turmeric. The only thing I really grow is the aloe vera, which will grow like a weed. Oh my goodness. And you can start it from little pieces, so it's easy to keep going, and you can kind of neglect it. Doesn't need a lot of light. Trying to think what other. I got 3 tomatoes I'm growing. That's not an herb, but I'm kind of excited about that. They just kind of popped up with all the rest of the stuff. And what else is going on?
Tomatoes are great because they will, like, especially like little tomatoes, they'll just keep going. Like, they'll just keep growing. Like, I'm taking care of some tomato plants at my other aunt's house, and she's like, I can't believe they're still going. And at my old house that I used to live in Columbus, I never started growing tomatoes, but the previous people that lived there did, and they kept coming back the next year. So tomatoes are great, and they're loaded with vitamin C.
And I even like them green. I love frying them. So
Yeah. And composting tomato. Yeah, it does seem like they kind of at the old house had their own kind of composting going on. They kept coming back.
right.
That's awesome. Thank
Okay,
you.
well, hope I see you guys soon. Okay.
Yeah, thanks everyone for being here. If anyone else has anything else to say, feel free to share, or you're killing aloe vera. Oh no. Aloe vera is an easy one. Like, I do not have as much of a green thumb as my aunt. And I, like she said, you can kind of neglect aloe vera. You just don't want to over water
Don't
it.
overwater it. Right.
Yeah. That's, I think, the key to aloe vera is it's better neglected and drier than overwatered.
Yeah. And it needs bright light, but kind of diffuse, not sun beating down on it. No sun, but it does like light.
Yeah, same for a tea tree. If you decide to grow your own tea tree, or a green tea, like the type that I mentioned today, or a type that you would drink, they like light, but they kind of grow in more of a forested area, so kind of that indirect light is better. But it is kind of hard to overwater them. They love water, but yeah, just not as much light. You don't want to put it on the porch on a bright sunny day. That will burn the leaves. So. But yes, you can grow tea tree. I bought mine online. I bought my tea tree online, and it was from a local grower off of eBay. There's a lot of little plant shops, locally owned small businesses on eBay that will delicately mail you your plants, your live plants. So it comes very wrapped up, but it's a nice way to get some plants in the house. So. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Anyone else have anything, or we're good to go? And I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. And I hope to be in touch with you soon. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye, sweetie.
Bye. Take care, everyone.